Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a second boil water notice for Victoria, how these disruptions are impacting small businesses.
A local advocate plans a new outreach trailer, how one woman's effort could bring more help to the homeless community.
Plus, a murder suspect caught on the move in the Crossroads, how a coordinated traffic stop brought a South Texas fugitive into custody.
Well, those summer temperatures are in full swing here in the Crossroads, but rain is on the way. We'll be talking about that coming up in weather.
And the Cuero Gobblers will keep high expectations heading into 2025 season. We'll highlight the Gobbler season coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
Residents in Victoria have been under a boil water notice for about 24 hours now, the second time in less than a month.
Meanwhile, members of Victoria City Council are actively investigating what led to the first boil water notice. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley joins us with more on the work they're doing. Ray?
Yes, Sean and Don, after the first citywide boil water notice was lifted on July 17th, Mayor Dwayne Crocker announced a subcommittee will review what went wrong. Mayor Crocker is on that subcommittee along with Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Andrew Young and Councilman Jan Scott. They've met weekly with staff members, but the meetings are not public. The subcommittee wants to get to the bottom of what led to the first boil water notice. At this week's City Council meeting, Mayor Crocker said the group's work have already led to significant changes in operations, including a more frequent water testing schedule. Once the subcommittee's work is complete, they plan to have a number of recommendations for the city. The public will have access to the subcommittee's comprehensive report following the investigation. We've asked to speak with members of the subcommittee. Mayor Crocker and Dr. Young both declined our request for an interview. Dr. Young says he's out of town. We have not heard back from Councilwoman Scott. City Manager Jesus Garza was also not available for an interview. A city spokesperson said a staff member of Public Works may be available for an interview tomorrow morning. Donna, Sean, back to you.
And this brings us to our viewer poll. What concerns you the most about the current boil water notice? Is it the water department's failure to control it? Is it the mayor's failure to understand the situation? The oversight committee's lack of results, or all of the above? And right now, 78% feel it's a combination of those factors. 17% feel that their biggest concern is the water department's role in this. One viewer, David Franco Nunez Jr., tells us it's becoming a frequent occurrence. It's causing a huge impact on local restaurants. But we want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to not only vote in our viewer poll, but also you can leave comments and give us your opinion there. And then we'll have another look on 25 News now at 10. And just like David mentioned, the second boil water notice is forcing many businesses in Victoria to adjust operations or even close their doors.
25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman spoke with some business leaders about how it's impacting them. Amaya?
That is correct. Many restaurants are moving to using paper goods and bringing in ice from other cities. We stopped by Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, where customers can bring in their own beverages or choose from bottled water available. From buffets to burger joints, most places are having to rely on bottled water or canned drinks, as fountain drinks machines are shut off. Workers are also having to sanitize dishes definitely, and some menu items are limited or unavailable.
It definitely costs money, and then just with customers, a lot of customers love our tea and our lemonade, and we're not able to have that right now. So we've seen some they've been a little upset, but we're allowing them to also bring in their own bottled drinks, so that's helped a lot.
You may remember during the first water boil notice, which lasted 6 days, the city credited residents water bills by $10. That cost the city $220,000. No word this time if the city plans to issue another credit. By the way, the city of Victoria currently has a job of directors of public works posted a salary of about $130,000. The current director, Ken Gill, remains on the job with plans to retire soon. Shauna and Dawn, back to you.
The Victoria ISD Board of Trustees will approve teacher pay for the upcoming school year at a special meeting tonight. The board will also set dates for public hearings on the tax rate and budget and hear information on a possible future bond proposal. That meeting started at 5:30 at the VISD Administration Building.
A murder suspect from South Texas is now in custody after being stopped in Jackson County. The sheriff's office says it got a tip that the suspect was heading south on U.S. Highway 59 Monday. Investigators, deputies, and the Ganado police chief quickly intercepted the vehicle. 17-year-old Zan Gonzalez was detained along with 2 other people and taken to the Jackson County Jail. After an interview with the Texas Rangers, Gonzalez was booked on a murder warrant out of San Diego in the Rio Grande Valley. He's being held without bond. The other 2 occupants were later released. A woman faces a human smuggling charge in Wharton County. Using a warrant, Harris County deputies arrested 38-year-old Monica Rubio of Pearland. The charge comes from a Wharton County case in 2022. She is now in the Wharton County Jail in lieu of $30,000 bond.
A local homeless advocate has plans to expand her outreach to the community. Kim Pickens is buying a trailer to stock with necessities like hygiene items, clothing, socks, blankets, and food. It will allow her to collect and store more items and use the trailer as a distribution point. Pickens is aiming to raise $1,000 by Friday, $800 for the trailer and $200 for taxes and registration.
People see me roll up with this trailer, like I should be able to give them like the things that they need, you know, the laundry pods, the hygiene kits and things like that. Like those are things that unless I'm just don't have them because they weren't donated, then, you know, I should be able to keep all that in one place.
Pickens heads up the Humility Project, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping individuals and families who are unhoused within our community.
More heat on a Thursday. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I don't think it's going away anytime soon, but we do have something coming towards us maybe. Let's go to Jacob Lozano for a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, the heat is here and the heat is here to stay. 96 is what we're at right now. Feels like 103. Southerly winds have picked up a little bit at 13 miles per hour. We did have a little shift with a westerly wind that did increase our temperatures here, and we got to 99 for the high here, even though it says 98. We're still waiting for that update there at the airport, but 99 was the high that we saw at the National Weather Service there, and from Corpus is what they had said for the airport. But temperatures tomorrow are also going to be relatively hot here. By tomorrow morning, 87 is what it's going to feel like in the morning. 91 is how we're going to start our morning off there in Port Lavaca with those feels like temperatures. 97 there once again in Port Lavaca, but 5 p.m. Friday getting to 107 for that feel like temperature there. So it's going to be close to 110 again across the crossroads there, but temperatures will be getting slightly cooler. We're talking more around the average temperature as this high pressure begins to shrink and move on out of here. It's also going to be opening up our rain chances for us over the next couple of days, but we'll be talking about what those rain chances are going to look like coming up in the full weather report. Don, Shauna?
Jacob, thank you. A new estimate shows almost $300 million in damage claims against Xcel Energy from the 2024 Smokehouse Creek Fire Complex in the Panhandle that burned 1 million acres. State officials said the fire was caused by Xcel power lines after wooden support poles broke. The company said it has $500 million of insurance coverage. There were also settlements of claims related to the 2 deaths believed to be linked to the fire. Texas Senator John Cornyn says the FBI granted his request of federal assistance for state law enforcement as they work with Texas Republicans to bring Democrat lawmakers back to Austin. Over 50 Democrat state lawmakers remain outside of Texas as they continue their standoff with the Texas GOP over proposed changes to the state's congressional maps that would favor Republicans. State House Speaker Dustin Burrows signed civil arrest warrants for the absent Democrats.
Fort Bliss will soon be housing migrants. The Pentagon says a migrant detention facility is being built at the Army base in El Paso, Texas. It will be called Camp East Montana and open in mid-August. The facility will initially house 1,000 migrants, but will be capable of holding up to 5,000 once it's completed. That will make it the largest federal detention center. It will house migrants who either have their final orders of removal or are in the middle of their removal proceedings. Farmers are struggling to find workers this season as immigration crackdowns keep many laborers from showing up. Crops are going unharvested, leading to lost revenue for farms and for the workers who depend on the jobs. Fear of immigration enforcement has forced many seasonal workers to stay home, even if they have valid papers or legal status. Farmers say this shortage is not just an economic issue, it's a loss to the communities they have built together. United Airlines this morning trying to get things back to normal after it stopped all of its planes on the ground last night.
Yeah, the airline says a tech issue caused the problem, which is now resolved. But travelers still feeling the impact today as residual delays continue from yesterday's outage. Here's ABC's Mola Lengi.
Today, United planes back on the move, like here at one of its biggest hubs in Newark, New Jersey, after a computer glitch stopped its entire mainline fleet. Last night, the airline says a system that calculates weight and balance and tracks flight times went offline.
Well, we're having a bunch of issues right now.
That technical glitch triggering ground stops at United hubs all around the country.
We had a nationwide outage.
The outage causing travel turmoil and stranding thousands of passengers.
The whole terminal is full of United airplanes that are not going anywhere.
Lots of planes full of passengers stuck on tarmacs for hours.
So we ended up sitting there for like 2 hours.
By the first hour, there's a few people that were already standing up and just walking around the cabin because there was nothing else to do.
Some deplaned passengers in Denver who were able to get off their planes forced to sleep in cots while waiting for their flight to leave.
Modern technology, I don't understand. It's supposed to make our life simpler and easier, and all it's done for me is frustrate me.
The airline saying in a statement, safety is our top priority, and we'll work with our customers to get them to their destinations. By 10 p.m. last night, the system was back up and running.
Everybody's out here cheering, so we're doing well now. Look forward to everybody get out of here.
Still, the ground stops leading to more than 1,000 delays and at least 200 cancellations last night. And early this morning, more than 100 flights were delayed and 100 more canceled.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the issue was specific to United's operations. And in a statement to ABC News, the airline says the problem was not related to a cyber attack. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Dulles International Airport.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, President Trump makes his pick for the Federal Reserve Board, how long the nominee may serve if confirmed.
Also ahead, Tesla and Elon Musk face a new lawsuit while shareholders claim robo-taxis pose serious risks.
President Trump has nominated Stephen Miron to serve on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Miron is currently the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. He is filling a vacancy left by Adriana Kugler. She resigned last week. If confirmed by the Senate, Miron will not be serving on the board for very long. He will only be serving out Kugler's term, which was slated to end in January. It's unclear if he will be confirmed in time for the Fed's next policy meeting in mid-September. President Trump's new wave of tariffs on U.S. imports took effect, raising them to levels not seen in nearly a century. But what does this mean for your wallet, our wallet?
That's right. Mary Gonzalez had more.
These new levies raise the U.S.'s effective tax rate above 17% and amount to the highest tariffs the U.S. has imposed since 1933 during the Smoot-Hawley era, a tariff bill that contributed to the deepening of the Great Depression. But the president says these tariff hikes will boost our investment here in the U.S. and encourage Americans to buy more American-made goods. President Donald Trump placed higher tariffs again on just about every country in the world.
You either partner with us or you compete with us and face tariffs.
Before today, virtually every country's goods were subject to a minimum 10% tariff. Now, about 40 countries with which the U.S. runs a trade deficit will face a 15% rate. Some, like Brazil, will even be hit with steeper rates. While Trump says tariffs will not lead to higher prices, experts say items that you come across on a daily basis, from electronics to clothing, watches to alcohol, and even toys, will now probably cost you more.
This is the largest tax increase on U.S. consumers in 3 generations.
The tariffs on Canadian goods start at a minimum of 35%, unless they are compliant with the terms of the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, in which case they face no tariffs. Still, Canadian officials say the U.S.'s northern neighbor is set to ramp up trade with other partners.
He's probably the most disliked politician in the world in Canada, because he's attacked his closest family member.
With trade policy nearing a turning point, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said that the Trump administration is now focused on addressing the cost of living.
We're going to be looking at what we can do for housing, for student loans, for overall, because there is an affordability crisis.
Another sector impacted by these new rounds of tariffs, the U.S. stock market. It opened higher for the second day in a row, but both the Dow and S&P 500 quickly dipped into the red. Companies, including retailer Ralph Lauren and construction equipment company Caterpillar, also tumbled multiple percentage points in the first half of the trading day. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Elon Musk and Tesla were sued by shareholders who accused them of securities fraud for concealing the major risk that Tesla's self-driving vehicles, including the robotaxi, were dangerous. Tesla's first public test of its robotaxis in Austin showed the vehicles braking suddenly, driving over a curb, entering the wrong lane, and dropping off passengers in the middle of roads. Musk and Tesla were accused of repeatedly overstating the effectiveness of their autonomous driving technology.
Well, we had a couple light afternoon showers over the area, but rain chances are going to be going up for the weekend. We'll be talking about that coming up after the break. Well, besides all the hot weather, we had a couple showers pop up over the Crossroads region. Just south of 59, though, was where we saw the majority of the rain, anywhere just less than an inch there. I think the most we saw was 0.77 inches right there, just north of Palacios. South of Port Lavaca saw 0.62, and right around Cuero, the last 24 hours, 0.18. A lot of that heavier stuff was along the Texas coastline, more towards the east, as well as southern parts of Houston. But if we look at the radar right now, it's relatively quiet except a lone thunderstorm up south of Houston, where they have a special weather statement there that is being pushed towards the 59 corridor area, moving very slowly, dropping, I believe, some hail, small hail, and 40-mile-per-hour winds with that system. But the rain chances are going to be diminishing here just a little bit for tomorrow, as we still continue to see those very hot temperatures here, those summer-like temperatures. But going to be relatively clear with a little bit of cloud cover picking up here in the afternoon time Friday, and really about a 10% chance of a rain shower popping up there right around 4 o'clock. But it's going to be clearing up by the evening time and the nighttime. But by Saturday, once that high pressure moves on out of here, the cloud activity returns, the moisture returns, and so does the rain. So the rain will be picking up here with these daytime, afternoon, we call diurnal, daytime heating showers and thunderstorms popping up there, keeping it at 30%, relatively scattered to isolated throughout the Crossroads region. So some places will see rain, some places will not see rain. Just kind of how it goes here with these sea breeze showers and thunderstorms. But Sunday, I think, is going to be our better chance for some rain. Be a lot more energy in our atmosphere as well. So could see some heavier pockets of showers and thunderstorms possible with this system as they roll ahead on shore. But the rainfall totals for, let's just say, through the weekend time, could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches to maybe not even anything here. Depends on where these land. But that's going to be what the story right here is. More of the coastline is going to see a lot more of that shower activity, but still Victoria could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain. But looking at the tropics, we've got our area right here, Invest 96L, moving out towards the north-northwest here. It'll be transitioning at a 60% before it actually wraps around back out towards the sea, back toward the Atlantic. We got post-tropical cyclone Dexter moving out, and we got Invest right here with a 20% chance of development, but it's got a lot of shear that's been going on, and that'll also be tracking out, following in the footsteps of Dexter. But we've got an area that we're watching right here. We got this area that just popped off the African coast, and that's going to be pushing through, and we're looking right around August 15th through the 17th to maybe see some development as it makes its way across the Atlantic here. Really got a 9% chance of some rain here, or of development here for right now. It is very well out in advance, but a lot of consistency in the modeling, so we're going to continue to watch this as we go through the next couple of days, especially when it starts making its way towards the Caribbean. So something to keep note of here for us as we head through next week. Now, for your daily planner, though, sunny skies, temperatures are going to be relatively warm. Heat index close to 110 is what we're going to be seeing here, as well as Port Lavaca getting 96 southeasterly winds, as well as Cuero getting the 97 with those very hot temperatures, but 30% chance of rain, and we're going to be right around average for the temperatures. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports, and we got Shauna right now.
All right, speaking of sports, we're going to send it over to Max Williams.
That's right, Sean. Today is Thursday. We know that means our athlete of the week, and I'll give you a hint. It's not on the football field. I'll tell you who that is in just 2 minutes in sports. Now, I mentioned going to our break that our athlete of the week was not going to be on the football field, but actually we're going to go over to the boxing ring and hand it over there to Jesus Ventura. Here's more for our athlete of the week. Pivoting away from high school football coverage, this week's athlete of the week goes to Heart of Champion boxer Jesus Ventura. Ventura recently won the Gulf Coast National Championships in Houston, Texas. Ventura has been boxing since 2012 and also recently just turned pro. He highlights his journey starting boxing.
Buddy Samson Holt, he introduced me to the gym, and just after that, I fell in love with it. It was something I couldn't get away from.
With his deep passion for boxing over football and track, he trained under head coach Ray Perez, who's been his coach ever since he started. He told me one lesson he's learned from Perez.
Foremost was discipline. I said he taught me a lot of discipline, a lot of ways to look at everything differently.
As for Perez, he's proud to be Ventura's coach all these years and love how he's always been coachable.
Pro fighter, but seeing the dedication, the preparation behind everything he does is an awesome thing. He's not hard to coach. He's very coachable.
Ventura also has a manager with him in all the big events with Raul Rodriguez, who describes his role in helping him out.
I took over position to manage him so that we can try to push him to another level. Not only his abilities, but financially, more opportunities, bigger opportunities.
With Rodriguez and Perez helping Ventura excel in his love for boxing, he had one final word for all new boxers getting ready to start.
I mean, it's better doing it than just sitting there thinking about it and never getting to do it. I mean, just come in here, try it out.
Ventura and Perez are still training and will be competing in more and more events in the future. Can't wait to hear what he does next. Congrats for being this week's Athlete of the Week. All right, now over to this week's fishing report, where it's going to be, like Jacob said, really, really hot outside. So if you are going to go fishing out there, it might be a little bit of rain, but still I advise you to wear that bucket hat, have that sunscreen ready to go, because around Coleto Creek, this weekend the waters are very slow. It's really hot actually out there. 93 degrees out in the waters there around Coleto Creek, which is kind of crazy to keep an eye on for this time of year. This is common because the bass fishing around there is also slow because of that. So keep that in mind. Coleto Creek, probably advise maybe go next week if you want to go out there. Around Port O'Connor, waters are good and it's way cooler at 85 degrees, and the trout have been biting on the surf area around the live croakers in the morning. And again, if you want to get information about East Matagorda Bay, I'll post it on our website, crosswordstoday.com/sports. Now over up north to the Cuero Gobblers, where this season they are positioned to make noise in the 4A Division II this year. They bring back a lot of returners on the offensive side of the ball, and quarterback Jackson Marie and backup, but also very reliable second option, Jace Guardo. They also have that star Dave Campbell's Texas football preseason offensive MVP and just a playmaker in general right there, and Walker Dietz, who's again, he's big time. He's going to make a lot of plays this year with Marie at quarterback, but also their defense, they're looking to improve because last year in at least 3 games I kind of saw, they gave up over 30 points. So hopefully they can fix that side of the ball. But head coach Jared Feacock praises everyone back on the offensive side, and Dietz highlights one key aspect he's kind of worked on the offseason to get better this year.
Turning guys that we got coming back have played a lot of football, and so they've seen a lot of situations, and I think they're going to do really well. Walker's obviously, an elite talent at wide receiver for us. Getting Jackson back is going to help, but also having Jace there is going to be big too, to have 2 quarterbacks.
One thing I've improved tremendously is probably my speed, just overall. That's something I try to focus on this offseason and get better at. Working, running extra sprints, doing extra routes.
Now Dietz looks to explode onto the scene there with Jackson Marie at their quarterback. They open up versus on the road. There's 3 Division I state champions in the Columbus Cardinals. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shauna, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. An Ohio farmer wanted to propose to his girlfriend. He came up with this corny idea. Finally tonight, a Central Ohio couple is newly engaged thanks to an amazing proposal. Circle S Farm in Grove City just released this year's corn maze design. A look from above shows the 13-acre field spells out, "Will you marry me, Caroline?" It was planted by Tim, who's one of the farmers there. He took a flight above the field with his then girlfriend. He proposed in the sky, then got down on one knee when they were back on the ground. Caroline said yes. The corn maze opens in the fall. It's not true that after she said yes to that cornfield, she said, "Oh, shucks." No, she didn't say that. No, but she
At least
did.
he was smart enough to take her up.
Yes.
Over, to see it from a bird's eye view and didn't try to just make her walk through it and figure it out.
Oh, yeah, that would have been not really good, I think. Do we have some good news for the corn farmers around here?
We do. We do have some rain chances coming up for us here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll start to see some sea breeze showers return in our area, as well as those temperatures getting back around average for us. So it won't be too hot, but it'll still feel summer-like for the next 7 days. But we're keeping it at 20% here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
This rain you're forecasting for the weekend, is it going to be like afternoonish or
yes.
more? Yeah?
So daytime heating showers and thunderstorms. So typically around, let's say, noon to 5 o'clock is when we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms begin to develop. So see them coming out from the Gulf.
There you go.
No getting out of yard work. Sorry, Don.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it in the morning.
That's okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10.